A night of drama, Tommy. You happy man after that?
Yeah, I'm delighted to take the 3 points. I thought we played good. I think we played well. First half, thought we were well worthy of being in the lead. But as we found out a week past Saturday, leading at half time doesn't guarantee you winning at the end of the game. So what I was really pleased about was the fact that, in fairness to Alfreton, they've come out second half and put it on us and managed to get a couple of goals by hook or by crook. But we reset. And I think the best thing I didn't do was make a substitution. I was actually just saying to the lads, look, I believe in what you're doing. Trust me, trust what we're doing. Because what we did in the first half was exactly what we did in the second half. Albeit when Scotty come on, he gave us a little bit more natural width on that side. But I believe the way we were going to beat them was the way we beat them. So, I'm delighted, although my face isn't showing it to you. Because, listen, it's not an easy game. They're physical, they're big, strong boys, the Alfreton lads, and they've got a certain way of playing, which isn't my preference, but that's nothing to do with me. We've got to beat what's put in front of us. And I think if they look at the whole 90 minutes or 98 minutes, then I think they have to say that we probably deserved the game.
Would it be fair to say that what you did at Peterborough Sports was also manage the game in a similar way, very clever, very, sensibly? Is that a strength of your team that they're...
Well, I think we know we're players. I think we know we're players, and I think our players know their roles within whatever setup we go to. So, is it clever? It's good preparation. It's good planning, and it's belief. It's belief in each other as staff members. Because, like I said, I was keen to make a change as soon as the second goal went in, and I just got my collar tugged actually by the two of the lads, and they said, "Hold on, let's have a little rethink." And I did. And we took off a completely different player 10 minutes later. So that's why I've got people around me that I trust, because I don't for 1 minute think it's all about myself in terms of the decision making and stuff. But ultimately, the players have to take the credit, because, like I said, it's very, very difficult when, as we found at Chester, when you dominate a game and you find yourselves ahead, and then the tap's turned, if you like. What we've got to believe as a group of lads is, Don't get embarrassed about winning quite comfortably at half time. You've got to put your foot down and get a little bit more out of the gas and push on, rather than make it as difficult as that. Again, my heart rate on my watch is probably through the roof in the second half, so I'll be getting castigated off the wife when I get home.
Worst things can happen. So 3-0 at Chester though, and 2-0 now. Does that worry you at all?
Not at all. No. Not at all. I mean, listen, we're at a level of football where games are won and lost on decisions, whether it's managerial decisions, players' decisions, sometimes officials' decisions, or the way things are handled on the pitch. Like I said, I don't want to talk too much about the third team, but ultimately for me, I thought the linesman was excellent. His chat and his explanations of certain things which I didn't believe could be explained, he did very well. But without being disrespectful, there was one team who wanted the ball on the pitch and one team who wanted the ball stopped, and we wanted to play all night. And so I don't understand. It was 4 minutes of extra time in the first half, and there was only 4 minutes in the second half. But from my point of view, it just doesn't make sense. It doesn't quantify the way the game was played, because from very, very early on at 0-0, we were having to wait a good minute every time the ball went off the pitch. And listen, I said to you, it's not my business to talk about the way the other team play, but it is my business to talk about a fairness and an opportunity for us to play our game as well.
Ben Stevens. First you've got goal, gives you the leader. I think it was 11 minutes, but Ben on the stroke of half time, he's gone from creator to scorer.
Yep.
And then right at the death, sent the whole place in mental. Really.
Yeah, listen, Ben's a good footballer. He's an intelligent footballer. I think he's capable of playing in 3 or 4 positions for me, if I'm honest with you. He played as a left wing back at Chester, played a bit higher tonight. But at the end of the game, I put him up there because I just felt he'd be the type of guy who would find the space in the box if the right ball came in, and I genuinely believed we were going to score the way we scored, by going through them or round them and then into their box. And he has got, I'm still flabbergasted that he never scored against Leamington, because he went through a little bit like he did in the first half here, but much closer, and somehow the goalkeeper managed to save it. So he still owes me that one, to be honest. But now I'll take tonight. I'm pleased for him because he's been patient. He he didn't get on the pitch much in the first few games, but he's gone on and had an impact as a sub, and he's gone on and had an impact as a starter. So from that point of view, that's exactly what I want all my players to do.
Just going back to having lots of choices, we did see Macca also warming up before the game, which is, I think, the first time he's had that much of a warm-up for a game for quite some time.
Yeah, he's close. He's very close, but ultimately he's been out for such a long time. He's getting the aches and pains as a residual to the injury that he's had. But he's physically well and he's healthy, and he's trained now for a week and a half. And I expect him to be involved fairly soon, to be honest with you. I mean, I don't think he's going to be able to jump in and play 10 games off the bounce or whatever. But he's certainly, in a game like that, he'd be a massive asset to bring on for the last substitution, if you're being honest. But when they're shelling bed knobs and broomsticks into your box, you want somebody who's going to put their head in a cement mixer to head it away for you. But in fairness to my lads, they did that, and the goalkeeper's made 2 great saves, which will go unnoticed by many, but not me. But I think on the grand scheme of things, 3-2 looks very close. It's been a great game for the neutral, I'm sure, but I think we were better than 3-2.
Just going back to Mac, I'm not suggesting that it would be in the same equation, but you've got 2 defenders there. One's got a bandage around his head that kept leaking, or a bit underneath the bandage, and Josh seemed to take a real big bang early on and shook it off.
Listen, they're there to head it and kick it. That's what I keep telling them. Stop taking too many touches and they won't get hurt so much. So at the end of the day, they know what their function is in the group. Macca's will be no different when he comes back into the side. But centre-halves tend to be a bit tougher all round than other players, I feel. And Adam and Josh were up against 2 top strikers, certainly at this level, but they played both Tom Denton and the big fella who started the game, Matt Reid, have played higher levels. Maybe they're past their best, but they're still a bloody handful. He's 6'8", it's never easy to look after.
I've seen him, Matt Reid, do some nasty stuff to Kingsley teams.
Yeah, no, I heard a story that he was laughing about how easy it was to beat Kingsley in last pre-season. So
it was then.
Well, he got it off me in the ear when he came off. It wasn't so easy this time.
Good. Don't know if anybody else wants to talk about the game tonight.
Yeah, just one for me quickly. You've touched on the character you've had to show after you've reset, after they've brought it back to 2-2. Discipline as well.
Yeah.
The team have had to keep the discipline when you're playing a team like this, haven't they?
Absolutely. Like I said, I mean, look, there's a certain brand of football that I would love to play, and I'd love the opposition to play ball, but that's not always the case. So you've got, like I said, you have to beat what's in front of you. They were competitive, they were strong. I don't think they were particularly, didn't overstep the line too much. I just felt that the referee allowed in the first half for them to manage the time of the game. And he didn't, and that was my only concern. And when they got to 2-2, instead of pushing on to try and beat us, I felt that they wrapped up and were happy with a point. Now we're never happy with a point. We're more away. We'll try and go and win the game. So what I was really delighted about is the minerals that the whole team showed to go back to doing what they were doing to get them in front in the first half. So yeah, listen, I'm not getting too excited. We're still very early, but the target on my back's getting bigger because it is. That's just the way things work when we've had the start that we've had.
Are you taking it in blocks of 10, or are you not looking at it, you're just taking game by game?
Game by game. I don't think you can look at it 10. If you look at it 10, I'd say now, well, probably got enough points that I thought I might have gotten 10, if you see what I mean. We played 8 games and we got 20 points. So at the end of the day, it is a cliche, but I'm more interested, as we stand now, on the FA Cup game on Saturday. I'm not interested really in the following week at Curzon, sorry. So from that point of view, it's my job to make sure we're as best prepared we can be for Gary and his guys coming back to the Walks on Saturday.
What are you expecting on Saturday?
Tough game. The bloke was very successful. Yeah, I'm sure he's still very well liked by the vast majority of the people in the building. So from that point of view, the gloves will be on until 20 to 5, and then I'm sure he'll come in and have a beer with us, and we'll talk about things behind the scenes, I'm sure.
Have you had any dealings with him? I know when you bought a Salisbury team here, he was playing for Lynn then.
Oh, was he? So was I. So from that point of view, I don't know, he may have kicked me or him once or twice, but I know him and I know who he is, and I've followed his career as a manager when he was here, and then since he's gone there. But I don't know him as such, but I'm sure we'll get to know each other. We'll have a few things in common, I'm sure.
And it's your first taste of the FA Cup as manager here. How important is this for you, this competition?
very important. But like I said to you, I'm not joking. It's the next game, so that's the most important game as far as I'm concerned. But everybody knows, look, the FA Cup is the biggest and best cup competition in the world, and I was lucky enough to get very close to a semi-final one time, and I can tell you, the excitement and the expectation when you get that far, albeit when you're playing at a higher level, is massive. So for these lads, you know, if we could get through a round or two and pull out a big plum, as it were. I know they were unlucky a couple of years ago when you pulled Portsmouth, but there was no fans in the place. So from that point of view, Chairman deserves a little bit of luck. It's, you know, things have gone against him in terms of the reasons why the popularity of people coming back to the club weren't always his fault, or not always his fault. You know, the COVID and everything else has really kicked a bit of muck in his face. So I'd like to think with Gary coming back and the interest from his end and the players that he's bringing who've also played here, I think again, we keep winning games here. I want people to come and watch it.
What's your best memories of the FA Cup as a player?
Yeah, well, my best memory was drawing the first round of the quarter-final at Spurs and thinking we were going to beat them when we got back to the Dell. We went 2-0 up, and then a certain Ronnie Rosenthal got introduced and scored a hat-trick. Bruce Grobbelaar started going playing out near the corner flag, and we lost 6-2. So that was the closest I got. But I've had some bad memories in there as well, funnily enough. I got sent off at Port Vale for Southampton, and it made me miss the game at Newcastle, the next game, which was Alan Ball's first game in charge. So I've had mixed memories, but the vast majority of them are good. And as a manager, I want to go as far as we can.
You don't think that I mean, managers often say, or fans often say, it interferes with the league form, but surely winning is winning.
Absolutely.
Makes you feel better about
Absolutely, yeah. It's the next game, and will you ask them 20 lads in there if they want to play on Saturday, and I bet you get 20 hands in the air. So
I bet Josh Barrett will.
Yeah. I feel for Josh. Listen, I feel for Josh, but look, Josh needs the ball at his feet, and he needs to be on the ball like he was when he come off the bench against Peterborough, you know, when he come off the bench against Chester. But that game there would have been a difficult game for Josh to get the speed of it at the time that the substitution was needed. So, listen, I'll have to deal with Josh Barrett because he'll be really upset, and I'll be the biggest whatever in the world tonight. But when he wakes up in the morning and he realises he's back in contention on Thursday, then he'll be all right.
And I guess when you say, well, Ollie Scott created the winner, you can say, I do know what I'm doing with subs.
Well, yeah, I mean, like I said, the good thing, what's really good is Ponticelli, Zane Walker, as soon as the game finished, they come over to me with brilliant, great result. And you think, you know what, they want. I said this to them after about 3 games. I said, listen, it's important if you're not in the team that you're patting the lads on the back who are in the team, who are in your position even. Because when you get in the team, I'll be saying the same things to them. I have no favourites. I don't care the size, the shape, the colour, the creed, their names. I don't care. I just want to win football matches, and that would be the same on Saturday.